a brand new character we're going to touch upon for today, and I'm bringing out Ronnie Anne Santiago from the Law House, or for most would probably say, since she has a bigger role in the Casagrandes in her own show, or what they said spinoff. I can't tell. I don't know too much about the Law House or the Casagrandes, but I wanted to try my hand at a different character with this new series that I came up with character requests. Ronnie Anne is the next character that I selected, and this is from you guys and gals character requests that wanted to see some of these characters in the game. And I'm gonna get ready to get started. We're gonna open up the roster so everybody, just as usual, can see the characters that's in the game that we have. Hopefully we get more. We up in December, the holiday seasons is close. I already talked about it. Christmas is close. We don't know what the future entails and what the future holds for Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. I don't care whether or not it's a sequel, but I really believe that they can add more on to this game because they have so much in the game and so much potential that's untapped, from characters to game modes and the crossplay that still needs to come out. I hope, just again, like I like to say, I hope they don't settle. Don't settle for just Rocco. They got a lot of good characters. I might end up playing this game tonight. So tonight I'm just going to be talking about Ronnie Anne from the Casagrandes, or basically from the Law House. And just to expand, since just doing some research on this character, that's why I like doing this series. So it's not just characters I know and that I'm familiar with, it's characters that y'all want to see, and then it's characters that I get to know, to take the time to get to know from research and watching clips, and then watching a couple clips from the Law House and from the Casagrandes for some of the episodes I'm going to reference for her moveset, and just being able to find out what she's into and more. So Ronnie Anne Santiago is a supporting character from the Law House series. You got Lincoln Loud and Lucy Loud. What's stopping them from adding more of the Louds in this game? You got two of them. You got the brother and you got one of his 10 sisters. I forgot. I don't know. I could be wrong. But one of many sisters in the family, in the Louds, from the Louds family, to be added into the game. So we only have two Louds in the game. So we'll just keep it on him, and just switching between. Maybe I'll change it and move the cursor, but we'll just keep it on him because we're talking about the Loud House throughout this video and just the show. But Ronnie Anne Santiago is a supporting character, and she ended up becoming a main protagonist off of its spinoff, the Casagrandes. Now, just again, I haven't watched all the episodes, only seen a few episodes of the Law House. I haven't watched a single episode of Casagrandes until I started working on this character. And just some things I found out: she is Lincoln's other best friend and former classmate. She also happens to be the younger sister of Lori's boyfriend, Bobby. So I don't know about that. I just wanted to bring that out there and bring that reveal. Just some people that probably haven't even seen the Law House as much, or the Casagrandes like me, just to share a little bit of the backstory. And she enjoys skateboarding, video games, K-pop music, and pulling pranks. And her love and enjoyment for skateboarding and video games and pulling pranks, I utilize some of her hobbies and some of her interests into her moveset that you guys will be able to see. Now, just again, you don't have to watch the full video. You could just go ahead and take a look in the description and head on down to the moveset, which I'll be talking about later on in the video, that you could check out and see what you guys think of the moves. I wanted to make her dangerous. I wanted to make her a good character, and that's why I like working on these different characters and coming up with these different ideas. I don't want to just come out with something random. I want to make the moveset make sense and make it more as creative as possible, so that way it really stands out and make the character worth buying and worth purchasing. So it just makes the series even more fun, and just even more interesting, just to bring more talks to the game, and for the devs can bring out more potential characters like Ronnie Anne, which the fans out there and the players and supporters of the game wouldn't mind seeing her, and also want to see her get into the game along with other Louds. But that's her backstory, and I just wanted to share that and start with that as usual with the characters. We could probably get some new Loud House DLC. Maybe more can join outside of Lincoln Loud and Lucy Loud. and they can really be able to expand the roster based on what they have, just like I was talking about. So they can bring more of the Louds, new Loud House DLC. So let's get started with the stages. Now that we talked about her backstory and shared a little bit more about the character, where she's from and things like that. Now the stages, I did some digging and just, like I like to say, research and finding out where does the show take place for the Casagrandes, because that's her main show where she has a bigger role and she's like a main protagonist of the show in the first place for the Casagrandes. Great Lakes City, or GLC, is the stage that I end up selecting for the main stage that could come out in this game. And I'm just gonna do something a little bit random. Let's just put both of them in, just for the a little bit of example. Since we're talking about the stages,
select your arena.
The only two stages that we have two different stages. You got the Loud House, where everything goes down at the Louds for the family, and then you have Lucy Loud stage, which is Royal Woods Cemetery. So it's not the same as it used to be because all the tombstones are gone, but it's still in the game. They still have two different stages to represent the two of the Loud characters, or the Louds that are in the roster. So why not add a third stage like Great Lake City, or GLC, and then some other ones that I wanted to talk about and mention for my little ideas, and not just stick with just one. This is the main setting. This is the main setting of the show for the Casagrandes. Well, Great Lake City, or GLC. And then the school, the Chavez Academy, which is supposed to be a combined elementary, middle school, and high school located in the actual main setting, Great Lake City. And this is the school where Ronnie Anne, Santiago, and then Sid, Chain, and all the other students go and they attend. So why not have Chavez Academy, or maybe even the Great Lake City get into the game as the main setting, and a new stage to be added with the DLC to go along and be packaged for paid DLC for Ronnie Anne's DLC pack. And if you guys, maybe some others, some hardcore fans out there, maybe you guys can mention some other ideas if y'all want to in the comments. Maybe more potential locations. But I think Great Lake City is a good choice, and then just the Chavez Academy could be a good choice. So those are the stages. I just wanted to bring them up on the screen. They have so many other stages that can be into the game, and it looks like more can be added in the game just under Slime Time, under Tremerton Joyride, which is Virginia XJ9's stage. See how they did that little city? Tremerton is represented in this game, but it's like a joyride that you get a little tour around the city of Tremerton for Jenny Wakeman's stage, or basically her show. You got Hugh Neutron's stage, and he got Rocco's World, Rocco's Modern Life. It's like more stages can be in the game. So why not add the Great Lake City to be added? But it'll be up here in between Rooftop Rumble and the Royal Woods Cemetery. But let's go back.
Select your fighter.
So now that we got that all covered for the stages, we're gonna start talking about the costumes. So I didn't know what exactly I wanted to give this character, at least Ronnie Anne, for the show and for this DLC pack. But I wanted to look into some things, and not even just just her normal purple sweatshirt she's going to be wearing as her normal outfit, but maybe some fancy glasses, something similar to Lucy Loud's, just for starters, similar to how she has it. It almost looks like something like these glasses, but it's a little bit different because they're black sunglasses, or fancy glasses that she wears in the Gossipy Girl episode. And I'm going to be referencing this episode that I end up watching a little bit of, and some clips, to come up with some ideas for Ronnie Anne, or how I think she can play in more, and what I saw. So maybe she can wear some of the fancy glasses that she wore, and she wore these glasses when she was trying to find out who revealed her secret about her dream about Artemis, or marrying Artemis, from the show, in the Truth or Dare game, in the game of Truth or Dare, things like that. So I think that was during at the lunch table from one of the clips I was watching. Another outfit that I selected, Casagrandes Christmas. That's what I ended up calling it. Ronnie Anne wears a purple beanie. See how Nickelodeon got a beanie? Ronnie Anne wears a purple beanie and a coat with some parts in dark purple and a pink scarf, and then purple mittens. And she wore this in a Very Casagrandes Christmas episode. So characters like Helga and Ren and Stimpy, they the only characters that got Christmas costumes that looks Christmassy with the Christmas hats and you got the Christmas decorations. Why not have Ronnie Anne have a Christmas outfit and be another character that can rock that and have an additional costume? Not just one, maybe more than one, just for some additional options for the developers to pick and choose from. It shouldn't take too long to put this together as well. So a Casagrandes Christmas outfit to really be able to fit her alternate costumes for another selection. And then, since we got Lincoln Loud on the screen, the yellow Royal Woods sweatshirt that Lincoln actually gave Ronnie Anne, that looks identical to the design of her purple sweatshirt, but it just has the letters RW in blue from just doing research from this particular alternate costume that could be in the game. That could be something additional for the player to pick. So you got a different color sweatshirt and you got the blue lettering with it. And come to find out, she was actually really close to Lincoln Loud. So why not have her in the game? And the fact that he even has a voice line to reference her. Hopefully, I hope Ronnie Anne didn't see this. I think he also said in Nickelodeon Car Racers 3. Something like that. But this yellow Royal Woods sweatshirt could also be another idea. And this was also I found this in the City Slickers and Ultimate Treehouse episode. So you'll be able to see it if you guys want to check it out. And then something additional just to wrap up the costumes. I just wanted to add many different options outside of just her beanie and then her sweatshirt getting changed. Her Daisy costume, where she wears a light and dark purple dress with a white daisy flower crown in the History of the Casagrandes episode. So I ended up adding that as another additional costume just to wrap up, just for some ideas. I'm not saying they're gonna get all these costumes, but it's just different options for them to really just go upon, just to look into, outside of just settling just for just a beanie. So maybe they can have something like this with Lincoln Loud, but it's gonna be more, not just a hat. Let's get more that puts a lot more of a change to the character, just like they have Rocco's bowling shirt, for example. You got Zim. They got some of the best alternate costumes in the game. So Ronnie Anne could be one of the characters that can get a nice alternate costume to in her DLC pack. But now it's time for the animations and taunts. I had a little bit of some struggling to be open. I had some issues trying to come up with some ideas. I don't know all her quotes. I was trying to see if I can find some, just watching some clips and some episodes a little bit of the Casagrandes. Maybe somebody out there can probably, talk a little bit about what she says the most and what she likes to say with some of her famous quotes and catchphrases, if anything. The only thing I could find was "smell you later, lame-o." But I think she could say this as a winning voice line in the winner circle when she wins a match. And then referencing the Gossipy Girl episode, when she was trying to find out who revealed her secret and spilled the beans of her secret dream about Artemis, she had her glasses on, and then she was actually trying to question some of her friends that she played the Truth or Dare game with. And she did like the "I see you" with her fingers just pointing in between, fingers back at her and then fingers back at the characters, like she watching them and she got her eyes on them. That could be a nice little cool little taunt. She does this in the episode. So I thought that would be a nice little idea, just watching a little bit of the clips where she's keeping an eye on them just in case they try to get slick and be sneaky to try to find out that she was closing in on the truth or who revealed her secret, things like that. So I think that'll really be a nice little quick taunt, just something funny that you can just continuously press over and over, just to have your eyes. You got your eyes on the opponent or your friend or the enemy team or whoever you're going against online. You're watching their every move. And then the same episode that I'm referencing, the zipper trick that she does when she got picked and called up to be able to select Truth or Dare. Before she selected Truth, she ended up doing this cool little fancy zipper trick with her sweatshirt. So I thought that'll be a really nice dope taunt. So it gave me the idea just watching these clips of the episodes. So I just thought that would be something that could be really cool. I don't know if anybody know what I'm talking about. I just put zipper trick, but it's something that she does when before she decides to choose the truth over Dare when it was her turn to play and decide. And since Ronnie Anne loves to play video games, I thought the devs could probably put in like a video game animation. It almost made me think of the TMNT Shredder's Revenge, or how Donatello plays the Game Boy Color. I thought something like that could happen. Of course, she doesn't have to do it that long, but she can be holding like the video game controller or that little gamepad that she plays in the show, and she could be playing the game. Maybe it could be a potential winning animation, but it'll be something really goofy as an additional alternative taunt. See how some of these characters have new alternate taunts? It could be an alternate taunt that could be included, a secondary taunt that she could do when she could be playing the game for a little bit. So those are all I could really come up with as far as animations and taunts and things like that. I didn't really have any other ideas because I couldn't find anything. And just watching different clips and episodes and doing some research, I didn't find any other good iconic catchphrases. So maybe somebody out there knows, who's probably seen most of the episodes and notices what she likes to say for catchphrases. I don't even really honestly think that she really has too many iconic catchphrases outside of pulling pranks and things like that, skateboarding and whatnot, from what I've seen. So I'm not sure. But those are the animations and taunts. And just my favorite part that I had the most fun with is creating the moveset. And I really wanted to put, just like I said, I implemented things that I've seen from the clips, from researching and just watching how she acts and different things that she does from pranks from the episodes. I wanted to utilize all that and bring some life into her moveset to make her a really good character and just playable for this game if she were to get in and make it in. Hopefully they'll do more Loud House characters, but I wanted to start it off something basic and simple. And she's known for slapping. She was known for slapping Lincoln Loud. So I came up with, for starters, Slapping Frenzy. Ronnie Anne can slap enemies silly on the battlefield with a 3-hit combo. And then just to add on to it, this attack, or her Slapping Frenzy, this attack can be charged for a more powerful slap that can launch the enemy back. So that's something that I added. So you could do like a more bigger charged up slap. Just smack them right off the bat. And just be slapping Leonardo, Michelangelo. just slapping everybody in the roster. She could really go crazy with it. And just outside of that, that's just a little basic, little light attack combo that I wanted to just start with. But now, her being a prank master, or a legendary prankster, I wanted to put some pranks of my own into the moveset, but I also referenced the show a lot to really be able to see what you guys think about these pranks. So prank master traps that I implemented, Ronnie Anne is a prank master and can have a variety of traps placed onto the map to really set up the opponent. So just for a little bit of an example, when I was watching the Prankiversary episode, I really got some good ideas from. So I put in something called Rock Catapult, where Ronnie Anne can place rocks as these decoys that can launch enemies into the air. So those little rock platforms, they can pose as rocks, but then she can place them on the map. So not only you have to be watching and keeping your eyes on Ronnie Anne's movements, and if she's going to come after you and come charging on her skateboard, I'm going to get into that soon, you're going to have to keep an eye out and make sure you don't activate none of her pranks and activate some of her traps and get pranked to cost you the battle. See what I'm saying? So I thought this would be something cool. So Ronnie Anne being a prankster and a master legendary prankster, I wanted to put this together. So with this rock catapult traps, once you activate it, it'll launch you in the air. You take damage, of course, but she'll be able to just place up to 3 traps maximum on the battlefield. And once she places 3 traps, she won't be able to place any more rock catapult traps or little rock decoy traps to set you up. It'll go on a cooldown period. And I've seen this in the prank anniversary episode, if y'all want to see what I'm talking about and where I got it from. So cooldown applies for this particular move. And now for her next prank or her next trick, cherry cream pie, where Ronnie Anne can throw these special pies. Of course, Garfield has some of them of his own, but he doesn't have any special effects to them. He throws 2 different types of pies. So I gave Ronnie Anne a different sort of special pie individually with some kind of special effect. So when Ronnie Anne throws her cherry cream pies, these special pies can slow down enemies and cause them to move slower. They don't have any sort of moves to debuff you. I was just trying to think real quick. There's no characters in this game that causes you to be debuffed and slow you down. So I think Ronnie Anne can be the first, and she can really have different pies over Garfield. From his being, he's got some of the best projectiles in the game. But Ronnie Anne, she can make her cherry cream pies even more dangerous to make the opponent slow. So you'll take damage, but you'll also be able to move slow. And then for some of those faster characters, some of those people that like to move so fast on the battlefield, when you play against them, it'll slow them down when you hit them and throw them. So I wanted to give her something like that, something different. And then I added in warm tuna salad with breadcrumbs to reference the Pranks from Memories episode. So an aerial projectile where Ronnie Anne can drop sticky tuna onto her enemies to inflict continuous damage over time. So you're gonna be all sticky with all that tuna salad and stuff. The tuna salad and breadcrumbs, you're gonna be sticky, and you're also gonna be taking chip damage. Like psh, psh, psh. I don't know if there's anything. Is there any character? I don't think it was any character that has that chip damage sort of thing, except for April's camera that she places. So something like that, it could probably work with how April's camera is. But with the tuna salad, the tuna salad and breadcrumbs, you're gonna take chip damage while the characters are covered in the tuna salad and breadcrumbs. So I referenced that episode and what they use for the pranks and stuff for that warm tuna salad to really be able to cause some trouble and inflict continuous damage. So you'll be able to rack up a good amount of damage on the enemy or all the players or the opponents, and you'll be able to basically knock them out and slow them down. So you're not only going to be covered with that tuna salad, she could still be able to smack you and throw you, successfully throw some cherry cream pie at you to slow you down. So you're going to continuously be taking damage from her pranks, from her tuna salad and breadcrumbs prank, and then the enemy's going to be slowed down. So you definitely don't want to get hit and fall for any of her pranks. So you definitely want to keep an eye out. And then with those rock catapult traps and on rock traps or decoys being placed on the map, you gotta watch out for that too, so you don't trigger those. So I thought that would be something cool as a little bit of idea. So those are just 3 different combos and 3 different master traps or prank master traps that I implemented into her moveset to try to make it unique. So why not have her come out and be in the game and give her some pranks with some tricks to really be able to trip up the opponent and be able to trick them and just keep them guessing while they're distracted with trying to make sure they're not gonna step into any sort of pranks or activate any sort of traps. So we're gonna go to the next move, and I just wanted to add into her skateboard to be able to implement it into her moveset because she loves to skateboard too. So I put going overboard like a running attack, and I think he has this. Lincoln Lau has a scooter, so I gave Ronnie Anne her skateboard. It could be something similar to that. He'll run into and charge into you with the skateboard, with a scooter. Michelangelo has like a skateboard sort of running attack, so it could be something similar, but it's going to be a different variation of her of Michelangelo's skateboard move. So going overboard, Ronnie Anne will charge into the enemy by falling off her skateboard. See how Michelangelo stays on his? She can have like an epic fail and basically mess up the stunt. The purpose you mess up on the skateboard trick or the stunt and be able to launch you. So it could be a nice little running attack with her skateboard. And then the next one, Fearless Ronnie, where Ronnie can leap into the air with her skateboard with an ollie attack to inflict damage on the enemy. And then just something else that I wanted to add on along with that, with her Fearless Ronnie ability. Just going back to some of the louds. I gave her skateboard mobility and abilities, mobility and some kind of special mobility where Ronnie can skate all throughout the stage to play keep away, you know, just in case you want to play safe, you want to recuperate and try to recover. And then she can also be able to get off her skateboard whenever she chooses, whenever the player chooses, and then she can use it as an additional projectile. So even though it's not items from the Loud House too much, do they have a Loud House item? You got SpongeBob, Hey Arnold, Rugrats, Ren and Stimpy, Invader Zim, Rocco, Rugrats. They don't have a Loud House item in here. It's not going to be included for this, but it's going to be exclusively only available to be picked up by Ronnie Anne. But they can change it to make it also be used against Ronnie Anne, so it'll open the window of opportunity. Because I was exclusively gonna give her the ability to pick up her own skateboard and throw it as a projectile, as a hazard. But I want to give that opportunity to all the other players so that they can grab it first. When she's off her skateboard, they can use her own skateboard against her to really inflict damage and knock her away. So it can do some good amount of damage. Just like some of these items are really powerful, the skateboard can definitely be just as powerful as they are. So I definitely want to change that up a little bit too, because I was going to only exclusively let Ronnie Anne pick up her own skateboard, but I'm going to let other players pick up, and other characters in the roster pick up her skateboard and be able to toss it at her. So just a little bit of some additional things for her skateboard, so you can move it to keep away, and you can also be able to do, you know, run into them with the going overboard trick or attack when you run towards them, or you can just leap into the air with an ollie to really probably just try to stunt on the enemy with a skateboard to showcase her skateboarding skills. And then last but not least, airwalk. I know it's the name of the skateboard trick, so I was just trying to make it a little bit unique. I didn't know any other way how she was going to be able to get into the stage to get back on track, to get back into the action. So I just basically put in airwalk, where Ronnie Anne can glide and hover in the air using her skateboard only for recovery for a limited amount of time to get back into the stage. So something similar to what I did for Nick, because I didn't see how he was going to really be able to get back in. Maybe she can jump off the skateboard. She doesn't really have to glide in the air off the skateboard, but she can definitely utilize her board to really be able to get herself back into the fight. So I'll definitely see, if Ronnie Anne gets into this game, I can definitely see her utilizing her skateboard as some kind of recovery to be able to get into the game, get back into the fight and into the stage, or whatever it is that the stage is on. But I think Ronnie Anne has a lot of potential. I wanted to really make her sound good and seem like a good character. I just always try to make any character, whoever it is that you guys request from these shows and different possibilities, to make them possible, to make them sound playable and fun to play with. And I think Ronnie Anne can definitely be one of the most dangerous characters because of her pranks. Not about the skateboard, because of her pranks. And she's just super smart and cunning to be able to set these pranks up and really be able to set up the player so they could definitely use Ronnie Anne's prank master, legendary prank skills, put it to the test, and start pranking Aang, SpongeBob, and Michelangelo and Danny Phantom. They can all fall for her pranks and really be able to do some deadly damage and just really set you up and put pressure on you. So you're not just watching and keeping an eye on Ronnie Anne. You gotta watch your footing and watch where you step. And you gotta keep your eyes peeled around the screen to make sure she don't hit you with one of these pranks. and activate one of her traps. So there's plenty of other pranks I could have added into the moveset, but I just wanted to add at least 3 of them, just different variety of ones with special effects to make that prank and those different traps unique. You don't have to stop with just Lincoln Loud and Lucy Loud. You got all these other Loud House characters. I think Ronnie Anne can be one of them. Whether you pulling her from Casagrandes or the Loud House, she's still included in both of them as a series, so I think she can get in. And she's just one of many characters that can probably make it in to expand this roster. It's so many characters, and I think she's just one of the characters that could really be able to shine with her ability to prank and just all the moveset and offensive potential that she has. She will definitely be a lot of fun. I'm definitely would buy her day one. Well, let me know what y'all think for Ronnie Anne. Some of y'all Loud House fans, I know some of y'all seen all the episodes, so maybe you guys can probably be able to, share your input in the comments if you want to, and whether or not you guys think that she'll probably get in, or maybe you'll probably prefer one of the other Louds, or maybe someone else from the Casagrandes.